Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today we will journey through Let's All Kill Constance by Ray Bradbury. Let's All Kill Constance, 2002, by Ray Bradbury is the third entry in the Crumley Mysteries series. Following death is a lonely business and a graveyard for lunatics. Set in 1960s Los Angeles, this noir-inspired tale blends Hollywood glamour, existential dread, and dark whimsy. It follows an unnamed writer-narrator and private investigator, Elmo Crumley, as they unravel a surreal and dangerous plot involving fated actress Constance Rattigan, mysterious deaths, and cryptic connections to the past. This atmospheric novel reflects on mortality, identity, and the fleeting nature of fame. Plot summary. The storm had rolled through Los Angeles, leaving behind a city cloaked in shadows and whispered secrets. A writer sat at his desk, lost in thought, when a familiar figure appeared at his door. It was Constance Rattigan, the once glorious actress who had graced screens and dazzled crowds in Hollywood's golden age. Now she was a specter of her former self, haunted and desperate. She thrust a mysterious address book into his hands, marked with red circles around certain names, and fled into the night, leaving behind only a sense of foreboding. The writer, curious and uneasy, turned to Elmo Crumley, the grizzled private investigator with a quick temper and a sharper wit. Together, they examined the book. The circled names hinted at lives intertwined with Constance's, a rogue's gallery of forgotten stars, misfits, and tragic figures. But there was something darker at play. Many of those names were dead, some under peculiar circumstances. They set out to unravel the mystery, their search leading them through the labyrinthine streets and faded glories of 1960s Los Angeles. Their journey began with Rattigan's beachfront mansion, a crumbling monument to excess and loss. The house, as much a character as its occupant, bore the weight of past revelries and secrets. It was here they found the first clue, a room filled with memorabilia from Constance's career, a shrine to her former self. But the place also reeked of neglect, as if haunted by the ghosts of her triumphs and regrets. The housekeeper whispered warnings, but Constance herself was nowhere to be found. Guided by the red ink circles, the duo embarked on a nocturnal odyssey, delving into the lives of those named in the book. Each address and name brought them closer to an unsettling truth. They encountered eccentric figures who seemed plucked from the reels of forgotten films. A retired director with a penchant for the dramatic, a blind man whose wisdom shone brighter than his sightless eyes, and a recluse buried alive in a sea of old newspapers, preserving headlines as though they were sacred texts. The investigation unearthed layers of Constance's past, revealing a woman who had reinvented herself countless times to survive in an unforgiving world. She was at once victim and architect of her fate, her life a kaleidoscope of identities, lovers, and betrayals. The writer and Crumley uncovered a thread of guilt running through her story, tied to the deaths of those whose names she had circled. They began to suspect she was not merely a victim of the past, but its executioner, carrying the weight of decisions that could not be undone. As they dug deeper, the city itself became a character in their tale. Los Angeles, with its crumbling theaters, decaying mansions, and storm drains that led to nowhere, reflected Constance's inner turmoil. The storm drains in particular served as both literal and symbolic pathways, a labyrinth that hid secrets and offered no easy way out. It was said Constance had used them to vanish, as though she were a character in one of her own films, fleeing the spotlight to find solace in shadows. The journey reached its crescendo when the pair discovered a hidden archive of films featuring Constance under different names and guises. Each role seemed to mirror a fragment of her fractured psyche, as if she had left pieces of herself scattered across celluloid. The narrator felt a grim admiration for her ability to transform, even as he wondered if it was this very talent that had become her curse. Yet it was not only Constance who was unraveling. Crumley, ever the cynic, found himself drawn into the emotional gravity of their quest. His tough exterior cracked as the weight of mortality and missed chances bore down on him. The writer, too, wrestled with the implications of their findings, questioning the morality of their pursuit and its toll on their own lives. In the end, they found Constance not in the glamorous haunts of her youth, but far from the glittering lights. She was swimming in the ocean, her figure a dark silhouette against the horizon. It was an image both serene and tragic, a woman who seemed at peace only when away from the world that had adored and destroyed her. As the waves crashed and the seals barked in the distance, the sea seemed to welcome her as its own, a timeless refuge for a fleeting star. Her fate, like so much else in the City of Angels, remained ambiguous. Whether she found salvation or oblivion in the ocean's embrace was left for the tides to decide. For the writer and Crumley, it was a reminder that some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, their answers as elusive as the shadows that lengthened with the setting sun. Want more from Crumley Mysteries series? Look for the other books by Ray Bradbury in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Ray Bradbury's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.